Hello future CAs, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is about three important queries addressed and few important guidelines given related to the advanced financial management for the CA final November 2024 exams. As per the success at CA exams BOS series 1, this video is packed with valuable information to help you ace your exams. So let's dive right in. If you are new to my channel, I request you to subscribe and hit the bell icon below so that you can get notified whenever I post new videos. So the first query addressed was there was a query on a question from the mock test paper 1. So in the mock test paper 1, there was one question as explain venture capital methods of valuing startups. So few students had a query that this topic has not been covered in the startup chapter. So there was a clarification provided that this question is from the chapter business valuation and not from the chapter startup. So here I have opened the study material, chapter number 13, business valuation. So here if you scroll down, you can see valuation of startups. And here if you see page number 13.29, if you scroll down, you can see valuation of startups. This topic has been addressed here. Scroll down further. So here in page number 13.34, so here you can see venture capital method. So the answer to the question asked in the mock test paper, venture capital method of valuation of startup, the answer for that is here. The next query answered was relating to the decimal points. As to in the exam, to how many decimal points should the answer be rounded off to? So if they have mentioned in the question itself as to how many decimal points the answer should be rounded off, the same has to be followed. In case it is a question relating to foreign exchange, following has to be considered. If the quotation has been given in the question for 2 decimal point, consider the same and the answer should also be rounded off to 2 decimal points. Or if the quotation has been given in the question for 4 decimal points, the same has to be considered and the answer should also be rounded off to 4 decimal points. Generally, for foreign exchange related question, the quotation in the question will be given for 2 or 4 decimal points. If the question is relating to present value factor, for example, if the present value factor table has been given in the question itself and the table is for 2, 3 or 4 decimal points, then the same has to be followed. That is, if in the question the present value factor table is for 2 decimal points, the answer shall also be rounded off to 2 decimal points. Similarly, if in the question the present value factor table is given for 3 decimal points, the answer shall also be rounded off to 3 decimal points. Or if in the question the present value table is given for 4 decimal points, the answer shall also be rounded off to 4 decimal points. In case in the question the present value table has not been given and the present value has to be calculated by the students, in such cases it is recommended to round off the present value factors to 3 decimal points and proceed with the calculations with 3 decimal points, because sometimes in case 2 decimal points are used, that time the answers may be distorted. The third query answered was the query on treatment of dividend as D1 or D0 when nothing is mentioned in the question. So in exam, if there is any question where there is dividend, when they have not mentioned whether it has to be treated as D1 or D0, first you have to read the question carefully and see whether there is any hint in the question as to the dividend has to be treated as D1 or D0. If there is any hint in the question, then the same has to be considered. But in case there is no hint in the question whether the dividend should be treated as D1 or D0, then you can either treat it as D1 or treat it as D0 and continue with your calculation. In both the cases, marks will be awarded. Next, we will see some important guidelines given related to the exams. One important guideline given was not to do selective studies. All chapters have to be prepared for. and both theory and practical part has to be studied for all the chapters. Importance of practicing mock test paper was also highlighted in the webinar. Hence, please go through the mock test papers as well. Thank you for watching the video. I hope this video helped clarify those important queries and guidelines regarding advanced financial management for your upcoming exams. If you found this information useful, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your fellow CA aspirants. Also, subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon for more updates and tips as you prepare for the CA final exams. Remember, the right preparation can make all the difference. All the best for your exams. I will see you all in the next video.